Every time I rewatch Casino Royale, I forget how risky this movie actually was. Daniel Craig was not welcomed like a hero. He was attacked before he even became Bond, and somehow that rejection became the fuel for one of the greatest franchise comebacks ever. But the real story behind Casino Royale may be even stranger than the movie itself. The opening chase used a real free-running pioneer. One villain detail was inspired by a real medical condition, and that brutal Aston Martin crash accidentally broke a world record. So before Bond sits down at the poker table, here are 7 weird stories hiding behind the film that rebuilt 007 from the ground up. When Daniel Craig was announced as the new James Bond, the reaction was brutal. A lot of fans did not just doubt him, they rejected him. He was blonde, he looked rougher, he did not have the smooth, polished image many people expected from 007. Some tabloids mocked him. Online fans questioned everything from his hair to his acting style. There was even an anti-Daniel Craig website created by people who believed he was completely wrong for Bond. And that is what makes Casino Royale so fascinating. The movie did not try to hide Craig's roughness, it used it. This Bond was not supposed to feel like a finished icon. He was younger, angrier, more physical, and still learning what the job would cost him. By the end of the film, the actor fans mocked had completely changed the future of James Bond. The Bond nobody wanted became the Bond nobody could ignore. The Madagascar chase feels alive because it was built around a real movement artist. Sébastien Foucan, who played the bomb maker Malaka, was one of the major figures behind freerunning. That is why his movement looks so different from a normal stunt scene. He does not just run, he flows. He jumps through gaps, climbs through the construction site, balances on narrow beams, and moves like the whole environment belongs to him. Bond is the opposite. He crashes through walls, he smashes through obstacles. He uses force where Malaka uses control. That contrast is the genius of the scene. Without a long explanation, the movie tells us exactly who Craig's Bond is. He is not elegant yet. He is not smooth yet. He is relentless. One of the most famous images from Casino Royale is Daniel Craig walking out of the ocean in those blue swimming trunks. But that moment was not just there for style. It was a deliberate echo of Dr. No, where Ursula Andress famously emerged from the sea in a white bikini. Only this time, the movie flipped the old Bond image. Instead of the woman becoming the object of attention, Bond himself becomes the one the audience is watching. That small visual choice said a lot about the new era. This Bond was not just the man in control of the fantasy, he was part of it. And the detail almost looked different. According to the reference story, the costume choice changed from longer, darker shorts to the tighter blue trunks because the new look had more impact on camera. A small wardrobe decision became one of the most remembered Bond images of the 2000s. Sometimes, a franchise changes with one shot. In Ian Fleming's original Casino Royale novel, the big casino game was not Texas Hold'em poker, it was Baccarat, more specifically, a version associated with old European high society. But for the 2006 movie, the filmmakers changed it to poker, and the reason was simple. By the early 2000s, poker was everywhere. Televised tournaments were popular, online poker was booming. Audiences understood the tension of betting, bluffing, and reading the table. Baccarat may have been closer to the original book, but for many modern viewers, it would have felt distant and harder to follow. Poker made the central showdown readable. You could watch Bond and Le Chiffre without needing a lesson in casino rules. Every pause felt dangerous. Every card mattered. Every stare became part of the fight. The movie changed the game, but kept the pressure, and that pressure is what made the table feel like a battlefield. Vesper Lynd could not feel like a normal Bond girl. She had to be intelligent, guarded, dangerous, and heartbreaking at the same time. Eva Green was not the most obvious blockbuster choice when she was cast, but according to the reference story, what changed everything was her chemistry test with Daniel Craig. The two did not just look good together, they felt like opponents. Their scenes have tension because Vesper does not simply admire Bond, she studies him, she challenges him, she sees through him before he is ready to be seen. That is why their relationship works. It is not just romance, it is a duel with emotional consequences. Vesper becomes the person who opens Bond up, then breaks something inside him permanently. Without her, Craig's Bond would only be tough. With her, he becomes tragic. Le Chiffre is one of the most unsettling Bond villains because he does not need to be loud. Mads Mikkelsen plays him with cold control. He sits at the table almost like a banker. Then the blood appears in his eye. That strange detail was inspired by a real medical condition called hemolacria, where a person can produce blood or blood-tinted tears. In the movie, it makes Le Chiffre feel deeply uncomfortable without turning him into a cartoon monster. He is still human. But something about him feels wrong. The effect was also practical, not just digital. That makes the moment feel more physical and disturbing. The blood does not need a long explanation, it tells you everything. Behind the calm voice and expensive suit, Le Chiffre is under pressure. And once that red tear appears, you never forget his face. The Aston Martin crash is one of the most shocking moments in Casino Royale. Bond swerves, the car flips, and suddenly the whole movie feels like it has lost control. The stunt team used a gas cannon system under the car to launch it into a cannon roll. The plan was already intense, but the result went further than expected. The Aston Martin rolled 7 times. That unplanned extra rotation helped set a Guinness World Record for the most cannon rolls in a movie stunt at the time. What makes the scene hit harder is that it was practical. It was not just a clean computer-generated crash, it was a real stunt pushed past the original plan. And thematically, it fits the movie perfectly. Casino Royale is a story about Bond losing control. So when that Aston Martin flips again and again, it does not just look spectacular, it feels like the whole world of James Bond turning upside down. That is why Casino Royale still feels powerful. It did not reboot Bond by making him bigger, it rebooted him by making him vulnerable. This was a Bond who could bleed, a Bond who could fall in love, a Bond who could make mistakes, and a Bond who had to be broken before becoming the legend. The movie stripped away the easy glamour and found something sharper underneath. A spy who was not untouchable, just dangerous enough to survive. Which Casino Royale moment stays with you the most? Vesper's final scene, or that impossible Aston Martin crash? Tell me in the comments and subscribe to Cinema Unmasked for more hidden movie stories, weird facts, and behind-the-scenes secrets, because every movie has a mask, and we are here to take it off.